Leo, hello my loves. How are you? I have your reading here. We're going to start off here with a spread to see what's holding you back, what the lessons are that you're learning, what actions need to be taken. And then I got some oracle cards. So based off of what we pull from the original tarot, I will pull from the oracle cards. We got career, love, life situations, what's holding you back. We got shadow work and spiritual advice, angel numbers, spirit animals. We got the whole nine. So let's get into this. Holy Spirit, what is holding my Leos back? What is the lesson? Oh, hold on. What is the lesson they are learning in this cycle? What is the mindset that needs to be taken? What is the first action that needs to be taken? What is the secondary action that needs to be taken? What needs to be let go of? And the overall guidance. All right, so it looks like what's holding you guys back at this time is there's some sort of like injustice. There's some sort of like, I don't know if this is like dishonesty or like corruption that's going on here. Hold on, let me clarify this. Okay. So there's something here about you finding a peaceful resolution. Possibly even moving on if you can't compromise. But there's something here about you ending conflict, ending injustice, ending some sort of like dishonesty. There's something here about childhood problems, abuse. I don't know if maybe this is talking about like things that were said to you when you were younger that kind of stuck with you. And it's like now you feel like you can't fulfill your dreams because of like what was said to you, what was put in your mind as a child. There's something here about you communicating honestly and openly and ending conflict here. When it comes to the lesson that you're learning here, this is the Ten of Pentacles. This talks about legacy. This talks about finances, wills, deeds, trusts, and love. So I don't know if this is talking about, like, I don't know if you're in a relationship and there's something here about you receiving some sort of income. Maybe even like this could have been like something from a will. Whatever it is, it's like this culmination. It's like you receiving this abundance, receiving love. And it doesn't have to be romantic love. This can be any kind of love, but this is like love and abundance coming in for you. So it looks like here, maybe you had this mindset like you couldn't get this, or that you weren't worthy of this abundance, this love, this Ten of Pentacles and Two of Cups here. Because I mean, this is the ultimate love relationship, or like just love in general, soulmates, love, receiving love. But then there's also this Ten of Pentacles, which is like your ultimate like financial abundance, leaving a legacy. So you could have been holding yourself back by a belief that was told to you, or maybe there was some childhood trauma that needed to be healed in order for you to release this love and abundance to yourself. The mindset that needs to be taken is the Star. This is Aquarius energy here. So this is you having hope, being optimistic. This is you balancing your emotions, balancing your practical, your physical, your spiritual, creating peace and contentment. So it's like maybe when all this like comes in, there's like this energy. But it's like this is what's going to bring it in as well. You know what I mean? Like you being in this optimistic star energy, hopeful, having faith. There's something here about you letting go of the need to control your situations here. Like releasing control, surrendering, and letting the divine like help you co-create. You could have been dealing with a leader that was like unjust, that was like very stubborn, that abused their power. Whoever this person was, if it wasn't a leader, this could have been, because I did see this childhood issues, this could have been a father or a father figure. But there's something here about a leader or an authority figure here that abused their power, that was stubborn, lacked empathy, that was unjust. There's something here about you receiving some sort of good news or a message or a phone call that's going to really get you like, it's going to give you a fresh perspective. It's going to put you in this enthusiastic, cheerful mood. There's something here about you having fun, being optimistic, full of energy and bright ideas. There's this like new excitement for life, you creating plans, being creative. There's something here about you sharing how you feel and being vulnerable. Because there's something here about you lacking self-esteem at this time, lacking self-confidence, feeling inadequate. You could be working on your finances at this time. You could have some financial issues that you're working through. And this could have been due to like you making some bad investments or like not managing your money properly. But I see here that like there's this community coming in for you. This could even be family here, but there's some sort of like homecoming, reunion, celebration. This coming together. People like all like putting in the work together to like create something. There's something here about, there could have been like some trouble that showed up for you. And it's like you could have felt like you were literally like under the fire. Like there was just all this chaos and you were lacking progress. But they're saying here that like whatever this trouble was, you're focusing on it too much and it's causing you to like push off your blessings because it's putting you in this negative mindset where you're like constantly going over like what you lost, the mistakes you made in the past. So they're saying here that there's a need for you to release all of the losses, all of the trouble that you were going through in the past here. Release this and move on. There's like this transition that needs to be made here. There's something here about you being like really stubborn and not wanting to like let go and give in. There's like this refusal to like compromise. There's something here. Once again, I don't know if you're thinking about returning to your roots or if this is talking about you returning to your innocence. 844 on the clock. It is. Returning back to, okay, when we're children, right? If you look at a 2-year-old, a 2-year-old is just concerned on the now. They're always happy and smiling unless they're hungry or they need something, right? But it's like, for the most part, 90% of the time, they're running around happy, smiling. You know what I mean? They're not focused on yesterday's hurts. They're not focused on the future and worried about how they're going to do this or that, right? They're just focused on the now. They're running around, they're playing, they're creating, they're imagining, right? So it's like, we get so, like, after a while, like, the children will like take on like the adult's way of being, their way of thinking, their beliefs, right? And they slowly turn into an adult. And this is where they're walking around, they're taking on their responsibilities. I was reading this book and they were pointing out, like if you watch a child mimic like something that they want to be when they're older, an adult or a lawyer, says that their smile will immediately fade away and they'll get this serious look on their face and they'll start mimicking what adults look like doing their jobs, right? So this is talking about how like we are all unhappy, right? As adults, playing these roles that we don't want to play, these jobs, putting on this mask every day. And we're not allowing ourselves to be who we were as children, which was tapping into this inner child, not worried on the past, not worried on the future. We're like doing what we want to do that day, being in the now, having fun, creating. This is what this is talking about. Returning back to your youth, returning back to your innocence, returning back to fantasizing, playfulness, being kind, right? Because children are kind, right? Little children, before they're taught to hate, right? So it's like when we like discipline children, or when we teach children, we teach them, if you do what we want you to do, then you receive praise and you receive reward. But if you don't do what we want, then you receive punishment. And then we take this on as adults. And it's like, if we don't reach this level of perfection that we set for ourselves, or that society placed in our mind as what we need to be, then we punish ourselves. We talk down to ourselves. We talk bad to ourselves. We don't do the fun things that we need to do because we say, no, you need to focus. You need to be disciplined. You need to work hard, right? So this is talking about you returning back to your childlike innocence, having fun again, being kind, being creative, focusing on the now, okay? I know I went off on a tangent, but it was important. Your guidance here is to go within. This is the Hermit card, right? So it's talking about you going within, soul searching, figuring out what you want here. But this is also talking about the fact that you've been doing this for so long that you are now isolating and withdrawing. So it's like we make this excuse that we need to like go within to heal. And yes, we do need to do that. We do need to isolate to figure out what we want. But then we need to come back out again. And it's like you're in this 12-12, this hermit phase, and you're not willing to step back out again. You're restricting yourself. You're paranoid. You're lonely. You're withdrawing. You're antisocial. So there's a need for you to let go of this and start coming back out in the world and trusting yourself again. Coming back to this inner child. You have the knowledge on how to protect yourself. You know how to set healthy boundaries. So there's no need for you to isolate anymore because you know how to protect yourself, right? You know what to look for. So now is the time for you to step back out, start creating, start meeting people, getting out back into this world here, sharing some of the knowledge that you've learned, and just having fun. Creating like that 2-year-old child you used to be, right? All right, what do we got here? Yeah, worthy goal. Look at this, hitting that target. So there's something here about you getting out and getting inspired. Look at that. That's why they want you to get out, because when you're out, you're going to get inspired. You're going to want to create. You're going to create connections, networking, right? It's going to bring in more opportunities for you, and it's going to get you out of your mind and out of that negative programming and talk that you're doing to yourself here. So they're saying here that when you get out, you're going to be inspired. You're going to want to keep working towards your life purpose here. Look at this. Gate of opportunities. Look at this window opening, this window of opportunity, this door actually of opportunity that's opening for you now. Pass through the gate of opportunities wherein new paths unfurl with boundless potential. So it's like you've got all this potential, all these new doors opening for you once you just step out there, step out of that comfort zone, step out of that little nest that you've created of protection. Flames of passion. So it's like, let your passion guide the way for you. But be mindful, okay? Be mindful of like the fact that like these fires may ignite something in you on this journey. So it's like you're going to need to have control over yourself either. So it's like once you tap into this passion and let this guide your way, like be aware that there may be challenges. No path is ever going to be without challenges. So it's like, what do you do in the face of challenge? Do you go back to your comfort zone, run and hide and give up? No, we go through these challenges. We find solutions, right? We don't give up. So keep in mind that, yeah, you're going to go on this new journey, right? You're going to follow your passions. Look at the doors are opening again. You're going to follow your passions, but keep in mind and try to also have the foresight that not all your passions are going to lead you to what's best for you. Sometimes these things are like temptations, right? Sometimes they're temporary, okay? So there's something here about you having many options. Take your time to choose right, okay? So like, yeah, your passions are going to open up these doors here, right? But it's like, not all of them are going to lead you to where you want to go. They might be temporary. So there's a need for you to take your time and choose correctly. Choose what's right for you. There's something here about you giving up control. And we've seen this earlier here. 15:55 on the clock. Release your grip on the outcomes. Embrace the present moment's wisdom. So it's like whenever we're creating, we're not worried about, like, especially as children, we're not worried about the outcome, right? We're not expecting something out of it. We're creating just because we're having fun creating. So, and I use this analogy 1616 when it comes to jobs too. It's like we're creating, but we're not worried about it, whether or not this is going to make us $1 million. We're creating because we love to do it, right? So it's like whatever we love to do, keep doing it. And don't worry about the expectation of where it's going to lead you to. We got freedom of location on the top of the deck. Something here about you being able to work from anywhere in the world. This is what a prosperous life looks like, truly. Like you being able and having the freedom to choose where you want to live and not being held to a certain place based off of where you work, right? So freedom of location, living where you desire. That's what's good. That's what I'm talking about. That's what my dream is. There's something here about you needing some sort of training. There's something here about you having some new skill to acquire before you can advance in the next stage of your career. And then we got here, boss. Oh, shit, don't start no shit. So yeah, there's something here about you furthering your education. There's something that you need to learn before you move forward on this path. And then there's something here. Gone are the days of answering to anyone else. Your destiny is in your hands now. Amen. That's what I'm talking about, son. Work flexibility. Seek work flexibility. Negotiate remote work options. That's what I'm looking for. Flexible hours or part-time roles to achieve a better work-life balance. Now, it's so crazy because I'm a Virgo, but I'm very close to the Leos. And I think that in my Vedic astrology, yeah, it is. In my Vedic astrology, I'm a Leo. So I definitely resonate with y'all reading. And it's so funny because I've told people this before I realized I was a Leo in Vedic astrology. I'm like, I feel like I'm a Leo. Like, it's so weird sometimes. I feel like I'm a Leo. But I do feel the Virgo energy too. So let's see what you guys need to hear about love. There's something about you having unfinished business with somebody. Somebody that you see as your like destiny. Somebody is struggling to get on the right path. There's something here about them wanting forgiveness. There's something that could have happened between the two of you, and this person regrets whatever this is. There's something here about them trying to heal, focusing on their self-love, but there's something here about them feeling like a part of them is missing without you. Something here about travel. You could be at a distance from this person, far apart, distance. You could have set some boundaries against this person as well. There's something here about somebody needing to let go. They released this, gave up, and they're having patience. There's something here about, I understand and see your side of the story now. So somebody could have like did some thinking while they were in this like distance, this separation, and now they see their side of the story here. There's something here about them having a spiritual awakening, an epiphany, some sort of like rebirth. They received some sort of information, and they realized that this was a fated meeting between the two of you. It was meant to be. It was destiny. It was like the universe conspired to bring y'all together. There's something here about a hookup, a one-night stand. I don't know if this was a hookup or a one-night stand or a casual relationship, some sort of a fling. But somebody is feeling broken, feeling shattered about this situation that occurred between the two of y'all. And now they're like not sure about this situation. They're indecisive. And they know that their inability to make a decision hurt you. There's something here about them rolling the dice, taking a chance, taking a leap of faith, and they're strategizing how to do this. There's something here about them needing to like read between the lines. They may even like try to like come to you under the influence of something just because they have like all this anxiety. They're trying to like come up with the courage to come in and say something to you. So they might have some odd behavior because they might be a little intoxicated. This could be an ex-lover or someone from the past, an old flame, but whoever they are, they want commitment with you, marriage, relationship, a higher level of commitment. I'm gonna stick this over here because I ain't got much time. What's holding this relationship back for my Leos? Untrue stories. You tell yourself bad things. So yeah, and we've seen this earlier in the reading here. There's something here about this negative talk to yourself that needs to go, okay? They're saying here you need to change your stories and see the good that can happen in this situation. There's also something about you feeling like relationships are too much work. Okay? There's something here about you also telling things about yourself to people like too early on. There's something here about you needing to sit back and listen a lot more because it's like you get into things and you start telling all your business. And I get that. Leos are very honest. There's something here about you having desires. And there's something here about you needing to like figure out what these are, look deeper into these desires, because there's something here about like this being a seed of potential for you. There's some sort of like longing or passion that wants to be fulfilled. And then we have here soul mirrors. They're saying here that others reflect your own relationship within yourself. So they're saying you need to open up your heart. There's some sort of healing union. So somebody here, I don't know if it was a situation you were dealing with in love, somebody could have reflected to you your own wounds, like the relationship that you had with yourself. Maybe you didn't like this, but we have to be willing to see this. This opens our heart. There's something here about you needing to heal, and there's something here about a healing union coming in. There's something also about escapism too. Detach from your daily struggles and relax. Don't just use it as a form of avoidance, relaxation, and facing reality. So this is you being mindful of escapism. Drugs, alcohol, whatever you're using to escape from your problems instead of facing them, looking at them, okay? It's okay to relax, but you also need to face your reality, okay? Uh-oh. Sorry about that. Hold on here. What happened? Come on. Don't play with me. There we go. Okay. All right. What else do my Leos need to hear? Dogs can be significant. I got a dog at the top of the deck here. Self-care, balance. So there's a need for you to like work on loving yourself, balancing, taking care of yourself here. Taking the time to replenish your mind and body and soul is a must. Enjoy this time to reconnect and make yourself a priority. Ask yourself, what is serving me and what is taking from me? Much can be revealed when you stop putting yourself at the bottom of the list. And that's true. You can't be here taking care of everybody else if you haven't taken care of yourself first, right? So let's get you guys a spirit animal. Eagle. Oh, snap. This has been coming up for all the zodiac signs. So there's something here about you needing to rise above and see higher perspectives here. Aim high. Set ambitious goals. Don't limit yourself by past failures or fears. Instead, reach your highest aspirations and work diligently to achieve them. So that is your reading, Leos. I hope this helped you all. I hope you have a lovely day. Take care.